attorney Laura Anthony, founding partner of Legal and Compliance, a full-service corporate securities and business transactions law firm. Today is a continuation in a Lawcast series talking about the latest SEC guidance on cryptocurrencies as a security. On June 14, 2018, William Hinman, director of the SEC Division of Corporation Finance, gave a speech at Yahoo Finance's All Market Summit in which he made two huge revelations for the crypto marketplace. Director Hinman opens his speech with the gating question of whether a digital asset that is offered and sold as a security can, over time, become something other than a security. He then continues that in cases where the digital asset gives the holder a financial interest in an enterprise, it would remain a security. However, in cases where the enterprise becomes decentralized, where the digital asset can only be used to purchase goods or services available through a network, the purchase and sale of the digital asset would no longer have to comply with the securities laws. Reiterating the oft-repeated view of the SEC, Mr. Hinman notes that most initial coin or token offerings are substantially similar to debt or equity offerings, and that they are just another way to raise money for a business or enterprise. In particular, funds are raised with the expectation that the network or system will be built and investors will get a return on their investment. The investment is often made for the purpose of the return and not by individuals that would ever use the eventual utility of the tokens. The return is often through the resale of the tokens or coins and a secondary market on cryptocurrency trading platforms. In this case, the Howey test is easy to apply to the initial investment. The Howey test requires an investment of money in a common enterprise with an expectation of profit derived from the efforts of others. The emphasis is not on the thing being sold, but the manner in which it is sold and the expectation of a return. Certainly, the thing being sold is not a security on its face. It's simply computer code. But the way it is sold as part of an investment to non-users by promoters to develop the enterprise can be, and in that context, most often is, a security. Furthermore, in the case of ICOs or ICOs, which are high risk by nature, the disclosure requirements of the federal securities laws are fulfilling their very necessary purpose. The securities laws apply to both the issuance or initial sale and the resale of securities. In the case of coins or tokens, a careful analysis must be completed to determine if the resale of the coin or token also involves the sale of a security and therefore compliance with the federal securities laws. If the network on which the token or coin is to function is sufficiently decentralized, such that purchasers would not reasonably expect a person or group to carry out essential managerial or entrepreneurial efforts, the asset may no longer represent an investment contract. Moreover, when the efforts of the third party are no longer a key factor for determining the enterprise's success, material information asymmetries recede. As a network becomes truly decentralized, the ability to identify an issuer or promoter to make the requisite disclosures becomes difficult and less meaningful, such as with Ether and Bitcoin, as I discussed earlier in this Lawcast series. An analysis as to whether an investment contract and therefore a security is being sold must be made based on facts and circumstances at any given time. Investment contracts can be made out of virtually any asset if it's packaged and promoted as such. Accordingly, although Bitcoin or Ether may not be a security on their own, if they were packaged as part of a fund or trust, they could be part of an investment contract that would need to comply with the federal securities laws. I'm securities attorney Laura Anthony, founding partner of Legal and Compliance and producer of Lawcast. Should you have any questions about today's topic, please visit securitieslawblog.com and lawcast.com or contact me directly. Inquiries of a technical nature are always encouraged.